Good morning, students. Today we are going to study the lesson that is the force and pressure. First of all, we will see what is force. To understand the concept of force, now we will see certain examples. See your textbook. In that, observe the picture 3.1. What you are observing in the first case? Yes, very good. In the first case, you are observing that man is pushing a car. What you are observing in the second case? In the second case, you are observing the boy pulling a dog. And in the third case, the boy who is playing football, kicking the ball. So, these are the three examples which are given. Now see few more examples. For example, now this is a ball which is at a rest. If I give a push, now the ball is set into motion. See the another example. Now this is a toy and I am pulling this toy with the help of this string. And because of pull, now the toy is set into motion. So from all these examples, what you will conclude? The conclusion will be force is push or pull. Okay. So in simple language, we can say that force is the push or pull. Or the actual definition of the force is a physical quantity which is essential to set the object in motion. Or it is a quantity which is essential to stop the object which is in motion. Now, what is meant by physical quantity? Physical quantity, that means we can measure it. That is known as a physical quantity. And you know that there are two different types of physical quantities, scalars and vectors. Now, what is meant by scalars? Scalars are the physical quantities which can be expressed totally, completely by giving their magnitude only. For example, when I say that the length of the string is 1 meter, that means there is no need to tell about the direction. So such type of quantities they are known as a scalars. Or when I say that your height is 3 feet, that means there is no need of direction to explain that quantity. So such type of quantities they are known as a scalars. On the other hand, certain physical quantities they can be expressed completely by giving their magnitude as well as direction. For example, when I say that the push is given, that means the force is exerted, and the displacement of the object takes place. So displacement, that is change in position of object from initial point to final point. At that time, in which direction it is displaced, that is also important. So force is a vector quantity because force can be expressed by giving its magnitude as well as direction. So such type of quantities they are known as a vector quantity. Okay. So what we are seeing? What is a force? Force is nothing but a push or pull. Okay. The examples of force we have discussed, that is man pushing a car, the force is exerted on the car. In the second case, boy pulling a dog, at that time also the force is exerted. Boy kicking a ball, at that time the force is exerted on the ball by that boy. Okay. Then these quantities, force is a quantity that is a vector quantity. Now we'll see what is meant by the contact force and non-contact force. For this also see some examples. When I give a push to this ball, now see, at this time there is a contact between the ball and the force exerted. Okay. In the second case, when I was pulling this card, at that time again there is a direct contact between the object and the exerted force. So such type of forces, they are known as a contact forces. Do you know any examples of contact forces in day-to-day life? Okay. When you lift the school bag, at that time you exert a force on that bag. Okay. That is a contact force. When a mother gives you a cup of milk, at that time you lift that cup. At that time also there is a direct contact between the object and the force exerted on it. Such type of forces are known as a contact forces. On the other hand, there are certain forces where there is no direct contact between the object and the force exerted. For example, now see the same example. Now I am releasing these balls from certain height. Okay, see this ball. I am releasing this ball from certain height. At that time, it is attracted towards gravity by gravitational force. So there is a no contact between the exerted force and the object. Such type of force that is known as a non-contact force. The another examples of the non-contact force, that is a magnetic force. Have you seen magnet? Now this is a bar magnet. Okay, you know this bar magnet. Now what is the property of the magnet? It attracts the magnetic substance. Now there are certain pins. When I keep this magnet near this, from certain distance only it attracts the pins. That means there is no direct contact between the exerted force and the object. So this is also example of the non-contact force. Third example, that is electrostatic force. Now what is electrostatic force? You know that the similar forces, similar force, they repel each other. Okay. On the other hand, the dissimilar forces attract each other. Okay. In an atom, you have discovered that protons, they are present in the nucleus, and electrons, they are revolved in the different orbits around the nucleus. So there is a force between protons and electrons. That is also electrostatic force. So non-contact forces, examples we have seen, that is a gravitational force. When the ball or any object it is released from height, or you can say that fruit falling from the tree, it is attracted towards gravity, that is due to gravitational force. So it is example of non-contact force. Magnetic force, magnet attract the objects from certain distance only. So that is also example of non-contact force. Electrostatic force, that is a force between the protons and electrons. So this is about the contact and non-contact force. Now we'll see what is balanced force and what is unbalanced force. Now see the same toy. Now in the first case, you have pulled this card with the help of this string. Now I will use this another string also, which is green in color, which is red first and second is green. Now in the first case, I applied force from one direction only. At that time motion takes place, but now I am applying the same force from the another direction also. Consider that the magnitudes are same, but the directions are opposite, and because of that reason, the two forces, they cancel each other, and net force on this card, that will be 0, and as there is absence of force, there will be no displacement of the card takes place. So this is a balanced force. So what is meant by balanced force? Balanced force is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Such type of force, that is known as a balanced force. In balanced force, there are two forces acting on the same object. Their magnitudes are same, only the directions are opposite. The two equal forces, they cancel each other. Okay, and because of that reason, the net force on the object, that is 0, and hence there is no motion takes place in the object. Such type of force, that is known as a balanced force. Okay. On the other hand, now see, I will pull this card with the help of both these strings, but in same direction. Now the two forces acting on the object, but their directions are also same. So what will happen? What is the net force on the object? The difference between these two forces, that will act on the object, and that much displacement only takes place. So such type of force, that is known as an unbalanced force. And unbalanced force is necessary for the motion of the object, or to set the object in motion. Okay. Now see one more example and see the next type of force, that is known as a frictional force. Generally you paddling the cycle on the road. After some time you stop the paddling as well as you do not apply the brakes. Whether the cycle moves continuously? No. After some time it stops automatically without applying brakes. Okay. So why it stops? Because the road is not smooth. It is having some friction. It is a rough. So that force which opposes the motion of the cycle or bicycle, that is the opposing force, which is known as a frictional force. And due to frictional force, automatically it stops without applying brake. So that is known as a frictional force. Okay. Now see one more example. If suppose consider that the surface is smooth, completely glassy, we can say, and at that time if suppose the object moving on that, what will happen? As there is no friction, the object will continuously move on that surface. Okay, that means it remain in its state of motion. So the state of rest or of uniform motion, okay, object remain in its existing state, that is known as the inertia, and due to inertia that object continuously rotate on that smooth surface. On the other hand, if suppose there is a friction, the moving object will stop. So this is about the different types of forces. What we have discussed, what is force? It is a push or pull, or it is a physical quantity which is essential to set the object which is at rest, or it is a physical quantity which is essential to stop the object which is in motion. Then we have discussed that force is a vector quantity, because to express the force, the direction as well as magnitude is essential. Then we have discussed the contact force and non-contact force. For contact force, we have seen the different examples. For example, lifting of stool bag, then pushing of the man pushing a car, etc. In non-contact forces, we have seen the three examples: gravitational force, magnetic force, and the electrostatic force. Then we have discussed about the balanced force and unbalanced force. In balanced force, the magnitude of the force is same, but the directions are opposite. So net force is 0. No motion of the object takes place or no displacement of the object takes place. In unbalanced force, the magnitude of the force, how it is, whether it is similar or different. In unbalanced force, it is different. You can take the weight pen. In that also, if you keep the weights of 5 gram first of all, and then in one case you add one more, what will happen? The pan will unbalance. So that is the unbalanced force. Okay? Frictional force, the force which opposes the motion of the moving object, that is known as a frictional force. Now we'll see what are the units of the force. In which units the force is measured. We'll see. The units for force are the Newton and dyne. Okay. In SI system, the unit of force is Newton, and it is denoted by capital N. Whereas in CGS system, the unit of force is dyne. Now, how we can define the 1 Newton force? How we can define the 1 Newton force? 1 Newton force is that force which produces 1 meter per second square acceleration in the object of mass 1 kg. That force is known as 1 Newton force. So what is 1 Newton force? It is a force which is produced the 1 meter per second square acceleration in the object of mass 1 kg. This is known as a 1 Newton force. How we can define the 1 dyne force? Now you have to take the units in grams and in centimeter instead of kg and meter. Now 1 dyne force is that force which produces 1 centimeter per second square acceleration in the object of mass 1 gram. So that is known as a 1 dyne force. Now if it is asked to you that describe or explain the relation between Newton and dyne, can you explain? Okay, now see. One Newton is equal to 1 kg into 1 meter per second square. Okay, equal to 1 kg, that is 1000 grams. Okay, and 1 meter, that is equal to 100 centimeter. So it will be 10 raised to 5. 3 plus 2, that is a 5. We can include one more step. For example, 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 2. So there will be 10 raised to 1. And hence 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. In that way, we can explain the relation between Newton and dyne. Okay? Now what we are discussed in this period, force definition, the types of forces like contact force, non-contact force or force at a distance, balance force, unbalanced force, frictional force, okay? Then whether it is a scalar or vector, and then the units of force and what is relation between the Newton and time. Okay? Now we'll stop. We'll see next part in next video.